Well, this is Rocky Romero with Peers on Demand. It's my pleasure to be able to present to you something that would help your business go further. And for that, it's the ability to be able to have a game day presence, to be able to have the ability to drive your business forward and doing it for a major portion of the morning ritual that sets your whole day. 3, maybe 4 hours, which seems like a lot of time, but your business is worth it. So let's get into it. And we'll cover a variety of different things from the CEO time management to the morning routine, tools that we could have, and looking at 2 to 3 to 4 hours of focus on developing, creating content, and marketing for your business before your regular workday. And as a CEO, establish a productive morning routine, which is crucial for setting the tone for a successful day. And this would be something that could be modeled for your teams or for the people that are in your business. Common morning routines, exercises that may fit you. Let's start with CEO time management strategies. And that allows you to be able to look at exactly how effective do you allocate 4 hours per day to focus on developing your business every single workday and prioritizing your business development. How do you ensure that you dedicate sufficient time each day to work on essential tasks such as business development, content creation, and even marketing, which takes a lot of time, and time allocation? What strategies do you employ to maximize productivity during the 4 hours dedicated to business development? So let's get started. What does the morning routine look like? Getting up early, getting an early start. Wake up at least 4 hours before your regular workday begins. If it starts at 9 a.m. normally, consider getting up at 5 in the morning, or having at least a consistent schedule that allows you to have a wake-up routine and being able to have morning rituals to incorporate the quick morning rituals to focus your mind. Focusing on blocks of hours, a dedicated time. So if it's 5 to 9 a.m., set up some time slots, tags, segmentation, divide those 4 hours into work blocks, maybe 2 hours for content creation, 1 hour for marketing, 1 hour for business development. How I do it is an hour for an overview for the day and an hour and a half for gathering the information for the challenge or the problem that I'm focusing on, being able to do some meditation, and then my final hour is working out, strength training, running, and even in the pool. And of course, avoid multitasking if you can, but certainly that helps quite a bit to be able to concentrate. Prioritizing and planning the daily plan. Plan the task the night before. What I do is I go to bed earlier, 8, 9, sometimes 10 p.m. And before I do that, I look over the entire day in my mind and I set up the question of the problem or the challenge that I want to resolve for that evening, and letting my subconscious really delve into it. Priority setting, time management tools, leveraging the technology as well in the morning. There's different tools that you could have, obviously your calendar, your emails, and of course, some of the things that you look like productivity apps. I use mind mapping for that, content creation tools, and of course, looking at continuously improve. Have regular reviews, weekly reviews, monthly reviews, annual reviews, even daily reviews if this is meant to be. Skill development, invest in time and learning. Reading, learning through, I use YouTube, I use books, I use sessions that I step into. Feedback loop. I connect on a daily basis with my peers to be able to get some feedback about how we should show up a lot better. How do you enhance the morning routine for better productivity? What specific ways can you enhance and refine the morning routine? Well, the wake up routine is consistency, wake up time. Now, I don't use clocks. I use an internal clock. So I wake up normally, and I've been doing that for many, many years. So sometimes I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, sometimes at 4:30, sometimes at 5 a.m. like I did today. And I avoid snoozing because I'm fully wide awake. It seems to me that I am at my sharpest once I do what's next, drink a glass of water. I drink a glass of water right after waking up, rehydrating my body. And I wait to eat a healthy breakfast until later on, but I do physical activity after I go through my entire morning routine. And I use that as the last aspect to it, but I do mental preparation. And that is to meditate after I've done my work of 2 hours, meditate, guided meditation, visualization, and then, of course, reviewing the day again to see what needs to be done and blocking out some time. And learning and development, I have the ability to dedicate 15 minutes or so to have a summary of books that I go through so I can listen to it and be able to reflect on it and go through an exercise. Skill development as well, short learning sessions. Tools that I use, productivity tools, like task managers and calendars. I use mind mapping and note taking as well. And I limit the screen time. I use my iPad, which gives me one screen time. I'm away from my desk in my meditation chair. And of course, I maintain a positive mindset, a gratitude practice. I write it down 3 times on my notebook on a daily basis and reaffirmations that I would have. So what is the tools that I could use for that? The task management tools, there are a few out there. Todoist, Trello. I use different tools to do that. And of course, calendar and scheduling, Google Calendar, fantastical. Note taking, I do use my Apple Note and also the mind map. And OmniFocus is my task and note taking. For time management, there is a Pomodoro timer that I use every 25 minutes to take breaks after that for about 3 to 5 minutes. Health and wellness, to be able to look at and reflect and update my health tracking. My habit tracking, there are 2 tools, Habiticon Streaks and Reading and Learning. I do use YouTube, I use Pocket, and there's some other ones that I use as well. So in terms of effectively select 4 hours to focus on, in summary, wake up early. You can set your alarm if you like. I prefer not to. Establish the morning routine so it's consistent. I avoid distractions. So when I wake up, I drink a glass of water, get refreshed, get my iPad, go to my chair, and start going through my process. I'm fully awake. This is probably in my alpha mode state that I'm in, so that it becomes my best time for alertness and cognitive efficiency. So I plan the night before. I invest about 5 to 10 to 15 minutes each evening planning what my challenge or opportunity will be for the next day. And I go through the day reflecting on what could have been improved. And I go through a gratitude process that allows me to be at rest and at peace. Time blocking. Now, there are some that use different time blocks. I do find that I block it out by a level of alertness or engagement. So I'll go from half hour to maybe an hour to maybe an hour and a half. Single tasking, I focus on each task one at a time until it's completed. There are different productivity tools as we covered. And also I automate as much as I can to be able to get things done sooner and delegate whatever I can. I do take short breaks in between after I've gone through my mind mapping and accumulating the process of the challenge or the problem that I'm reflecting on. Then I go into meditated state. And that is a short break for me to be able to get into that through a coaching step. And I do review and adjust at the end of the week and at the end of the month. And so let's continue with some other areas, which might be establishing a more productive morning. Remember, the most effective morning routine is the one that aligns with your personal preferences. So play around with that. As I said, wake up early, hydrate with a glass of water. I always drink water. And I also drink carbonated water. It helps me give a little differentiator to the water. I've heard that using warm water or room temperature water is best. And so I alternate between that and cold water. I exercise or meditate after I go through my morning routine. So it's the last thing that I do in strength training and running and pool workout. I do review my goals for the day. I did it at the beginning of my morning ritual, and then I go through that again to see what updates have been done in terms of emails and timing. I plan my day the day before, and I reconfirm it now. And I continuously do relearning and learning. I have 2 times, one in the morning, which is a summary of a book, goes very quickly from 10 to 15 to 20 minutes that is read to me. And in the evening, when I have a chance to go into a deeper dive of a book. I do avoid as many distractions as possible, like being able to stay single focused, eliminating multitasks. But there are some times to be able to do that. And I think that's a judgment call. Practicing gratitude, as I said, I write it down, 3 gratitude moments that I have on my notepad so I can reflect on it throughout the day. And so there's multiple times to prepare for the day. The prior evening, first time waking up, and right after my workout routine. Consistency, that's the key. Every workday. Now on weekends, I do some work, but it's different. I allow myself the ability to bypass and only do it if I really want to. Common morning routines that other leaders are doing this and waking up early. Apparently, Tim Cook wakes up around 3:45 in the morning. Howard Schultz, Starbucks founder, about 4:30. Jeff Bezos, 6:30 a.m. Richard Branson, 5 a.m. And they each exercise differently. Barack Obama, when he was the president, worked out for 45 minutes, 6 days a week. Richard Branson likes swimming, biking, running. Oprah Winfrey runs the treadmill. Jeff Bezos works out daily as well. Meditation. Oprah Winfrey meditates with the gratitude journal. Bill Gates does morning meditation. Tony Robbins is unique and unusual and an interesting role model for me because he does it in 10 minutes and he visualizes, meditates while he's walking. Arianna Huffington takes time to breathe deeply. And planning the day, Bill Gates makes the plans for the day before. Kenneth Chenault, the American Express CEO, writes down 3 things to accomplish. 3 things to accomplish. Elon Musk segments his day into 5-minute blocks, which is quite interesting. An experience I haven't had, but something that I'm going to pursue and test it out. Jeff Bezos ensures that each day has clearly defined goals. When do you read and learn? Now, this is interesting to me that Warren Buffett spends 80% of his time, his daytime, reading financial data and journals. That's quite a bit. Bill Gates starts the day with Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Economist. Oprah Winfrey reads inspirational books. Jeff Bezos reads personal development and fiction books. So it's interesting to know what some of these leaders are doing. The exercise component. is really quite interesting to boost not just the productivity, but also the mental sharpness. And that is something that I find provides a lot more energy, a lot more focus, whether it's running or biking or swimming. I like strength training and running and swimming. Stress management is controlled, and certainly that allows you to have a much more productive day. Setting a positive example as well. If you're with a team, to be able to promote wellness and be able to let them know that you also work out. Consistency and routine. I do it consistent. Every work day is a workout day. On weekends, I'll do different routines that are more cardiovascular. Health and longevity are the benefits of this. It's certainly postpones or avoids or eliminates chronic diseases and enhances longevity, which is something that I astute to and many other leaders do. Enhance creativity and problem solving. That's something that physically, when you fatigue the body throughout the day by running and working, and at the end of the day, the body's ready to rest. And the subconscious is ready for the creativity. And therefore, the first thing and most important thing, according to Brian Johnson in his day, is the sleep. And that allows you to not only get better sleep, but also maintain high levels of productivity throughout the workday, and also be able to, of course, solve the problems or challenges that you're having. So in summary, exercise is a cornerstone for leaders. So how often should you do it? Well, consider this. Each exercise session, about an hour, and sometimes it could be less. It varies depending on how it's done. What I do is work out strength training different parts of the body with machines to fatigue, and then I rest before I go to the free weights, and then I rest before I do squats. And I do this 5 times a week, but certainly 3 to 5 times a week is absolutely a great way to set up a rhythm and a motion. Total exercise time, well, it's been noted that over a 6-month period with 52 hours of exercise, which is about 3 hours per week, allows you to be able to improve your cognitive performance, your problem-solving skills, and processing speed. What types of exercise? I think varying it. I do get exhausted after strength training, where I'm breathing a little bit deeper, a little bit faster, but certainly aerobic exercises, biking, running, swimming. The intensity, I like high performance, high interval training, high performance intensity for all of those routines. So I'll leave it up to you. So obtaining 4 hours for your business, prioritize it, schedule it, put it in your calendar, optimize your morning routine, streamline the morning, wake up earlier, minimize the social media, create a dedicated workspace. I have a bench and a chair that I go to. It's dedicated for my morning, separate than my work day desk. And I embrace the power of batching so that I can group different areas to do that, especially when I'm doing problem solving and challenge solving. And I keep myself accountable. I have a app that's my accountability partner. And certainly when I join some of my peer sessions with team members, I'll mention what I've done. And one of the things that we do jointly is be able to share what challenge or problem we solved overnight. When I say solved, I think is being able to outline how it could be solved, because solving it means taking the action. So what is the motivation? Having clear objectives. Define your why. Why would you want to do this? Well, it's very clear to me in my life that the best cognitive moment in my day is when I first wake up. And I wake up refreshed. I had a good full night's sleep, 7 to 9 hours. because I went to bed earlier. And that prior night, I create my to-do list. I review what needs to be done the next day, and I prioritize. And I use different techniques, Pomodoro, time blocking, and I eliminate time wasters. I create a positive and engaging environment as well. Occasionally, I'd use music and soundscapes, and the lighting, I don't turn the lights on, but the temperature is even and comfortable. And my inspiration is, of course, the environment that I'm in. And I feel my body. I start with hydration, and I put that at the top because it's easier to drink water and then later on have a healthy breakfast. So I'll move that to a lower part because I'm not hungry at the first part of the morning. So it makes sense to be hydrated, take short breaks, and then, of course, have a healthy breakfast. And embrace the power of the mindset, positive self-talk, visualizing, and celebrating small wins to have. And going forward, some of the effective strategies, again, the Pomodoro technique, time blocking, eliminating time wasters, fueling the body and the mind, and being able to get started faster. Now, from an artificial intelligence standpoint, it's important to note that that's a tool that can also assist us to tap into the learning that it has, to be able to use it for adaptive learning, to help prioritize and do the task management and resource optimization, and being able to prepare you. So I like doing those things. So let's summarize recommendations. Start early, plan ahead, no distractions, measure progress. What are the adjustments? Just to be flexible if necessary. Strategy overview. That is, prioritize a CEO. And what are the theory of constraints? Recognize that time is the most valuable resource. Dedicate a specific amount of time daily. What is the philosophical framework? The mindset. Cultivate a proactive mindset, a cognitive mindset. And if you can, consider doing brain stimulation. There are some devices, some that I use to be able to stimulate the brain while I'm doing other tasks. Commitment. Commit yourself as a CEO to have the accountability for yourself. Practical implementation, time management, and delegation. Strategist perspective. Ensure your 4-hour work aligns with your business overall strategy. Now, that means you'll probably be putting in 12-hour days, 4 hours for your own business development, marketing, and then your regular 8 hours. What I find is that I'm at my peak for the first 4 hours, and then the rest of the day, I am being reactive rather than proactive. Theories, insights, continuous learning, bookends. Read or listen in the morning, read or listening in the evening. Philosopher's view is having balance. And I alternate so that I can flow, get into a state of flow while I'm doing this. Mental preparation. It's a consistent routine that I do. Journaling, meditation, and exercise. Stakeholder communication. Communicate the commitment with your team and or your stakeholders. Performance enhancement, energy management. Maintain a high level performance of energy level. I don't get hungry or fatigued throughout this period, even after I work out, because I do take some rest breaks. Leadership development. This is a role model, not exercise. I'm role modeling to you so that you can role model to others and touch others, people's lives. Business development, of course, is the reason for doing this. This 4-hour slot is to grow your business, expand it, the partnerships and collaborations. You start out early because everybody else is still asleep. The environment support, the optimizing of your workspace. I have a separate chair for doing the calendar. Use that rigorously. Technology integration, use as many tools as you can and experiment. I prefer mind map as my go-to tool to capture all informations. I do have notes, I do have calendars, I do have my OmniFocus for having tracking of activities. And of course, there's other tools that I'm starting to be aware of. Metrics and analytics to be able to keep a track of your metrics and continuously improve. What is the feedback? How can I be better? How can you be better? Resource allocation, prioritize the tasks, make sure that the most important get done first. Skill development, invest in your personal growth with new skills, which allows you to expand the neuropathy that you have. And of course, emotional intelligence. This allows you to have a much calmer, focused, creative day. And with innovation, now that you've had 3 to 4 hours to flush out the thinking, the problem, the strategy that you have, then you can implement. And the networking is relationship building, being able to be with other professionals and discuss the challenges and directions. And of course, strategic planning on a daily, a weekly, a monthly, and annual basis. So that's the summary of how to really have a 4-hour empowered moment of the day so that you can, of course, be able to show up and be creative and not just double your business. A book I'm reading is called 10x your business in the same amount of time that it would take you to do 2x. Rocky Romero with Peers on Demand. Join us in our community at peersondemand.com and join any of our free events, join our community, and of course, find out more about some of these updates that we have.